This is Achtung Schmetterling. Welcome to DNN, Death News Network. This is a special broadcast for the Day of the Dead. Today we'll be talking about unusual deaths from the Middle Ages. Constans II, 15th of July, 668. Byzantine emperor was assassinated with a bucket, according to Theophilus of Edessa. Ragnar Lodbrok, 865. Ragnar Lodbrok, a semi-legendary Viking leader whose exploits are narrated in the Ragnar's saga Lodbrokar, a 13th century Icelandic saga, is said to have been captured by Aella of Northumbria, who had him executed by throwing him into a pit of snakes. Louis III of France, 5th of August, 882. Louis III, King of West Francia, died aged around 18 at Saint-Denis. While mounting his horse to pursue a girl who was running to seek refuge in her father's house, he hit his head on the lintel of a low door and fell, fracturing his skull. Basil I, 29th of August, 886. Byzantine Emperor Basil's belt was entangled between antlers of a deer during a hunt, and the animal subsequently dragged the emperor for 16 miles, or 26 kilometers, through the woods. Because of this accident, Basil contracted fever, and he died shortly afterwards. Sigurd the Mighty of Orkney, 892. Sigurd the Mighty, the second Earl of Orkney, strapped the head of his defeated foe, Mael Brigte, to his horse's saddle. Brigte's teeth rubbed against Sigurd's leg as he rode, causing a fatal infection, according to the Old Norse Hamskringla and Orkneyingna sagas. Byzantine Emperor Alexander, 6th of June, 913. Died of a stomach disease caused by excessive eating and alcohol, allegedly after playing a game of tsaikanion, polo, while drunk. Edmund Ironside, 30th of November, 1016. Edmund Ironside, King of England in 1016, was allegedly stabbed while on a toilet by an assassin hiding underneath. Bela I of Hungary, 11th of September, 1063. Bela I of Hungary, when the Holy Roman Empire decided to launch a military expedition against Hungary to restore young Solomon to the throne, was seriously injured when, quote, his throne broke beneath him, in his manor at Domus. The king, who was, quote, half dead, according to the Illuminated Chronicle, was taken to the western borders of his kingdom, where he died at the Creek Kanitsa on 11th September of 1063. Crown Prince Philip of France, 13th of October, 1131, died while riding through Paris when his horse tripped over a black pig that was running out of a dung heap. Henry I of England, 1st of December, 1135. While visiting relatives, Henry supposedly ate too many lampreys against his physician's advice, causing a pain in his gut and ultimately his death. John II of Komnenos, 1st of April, 1143. Cut himself with a poisoned arrow during a boar hunt and subsequently died from an infection. Victims of the Erfurt latrine disaster, 26th of July, 1184. While Henry VI, the King of Germany, was holding an informal assembly at the Petersburg Citadel in Erfurt, the combined weight of the assembled nobles caused the wooden second-story floor of the building to collapse. Most of the nobles fell through into the latrine cesspit below the ground floor, where about 60 of them drowned in liquid excrement. Henry I of Castile, 6th of June, 1217. Henry I, King of Castile, was killed by a tile that fell from a roof. Al-Mustasim, 20th of February, 1258. Al-Mustasim, the last Abbasid Caliph of Baghdad, was executed by his Mongol captors by being rolled up in a rug and then trampled by horses. Edward II of England, 21st of September, 1327. Edward II of England was rumored to have been murdered after being deposed and imprisoned by his wife Isabella and her lover Roger Mortimer by having a horn pushed into his anus through which a red-hot iron was inserted, burning out his internal organs without marking his body. However, there is no real academic consensus on the manner of Edward II's death, and it has been plausibly argued that the story is propaganda. John of Bohemia, 26th of August, 1346. John of Bohemia, after being blind for 10 years, died in the Battle of Crécy, where, at his command, his companions tied their horses' reins to his own and charged. He was slaughtered in the ensuing fight. Charles II of Navarre, 1st of January, 1387. The contemporary chronicler Froissart relates that King Charles II of Navarre, known as Charles the Bad, suffering from illness and old age, was ordered by his physician to be tightly sewn into a linen sheet soaked in distilled spirits. The highly flammable sheet accidentally caught fire, and Charles later died of his injuries. Froissart considered the horrific death to be God's judgment upon the king. Martin of Aragon, 31st of May, 1410. Martin of Aragon died from a combination of indigestion and uncontrollable laughing. According to tradition, Martin was suffering from indigestion on account of eating an entire goose when his favorite jester, Borra, entered the king's bedroom. When Martin asked Borra where he had been, the jester replied with, quote, "Out of the next vineyard, where I saw a young deer hanging by his tail from a tree as if someone had so punished him for stealing figs." This joke caused the king to die from laughter. Thank you for listening to this special broadcast for the Day of the Dead, Halloween, and Allerheiligen.